Joe Rogan's $250 million deal with Spotify continues, and there's 3 things that you can learn from this to make you millions. And if you find value from this video, like, share, subscribe, and also check out my newsletter, Business Breakthroughs, that I post weekly tips for entrepreneurs. So, Joe Rogan continues his deal with Spotify for over $250 million, making his podcast exclusively to Spotify. There's 3 things that you can learn from this deal and implement to yourself to make you millions of dollars. Number 1, the power of personal branding. Joe Rogan already created a community of people who were interested in listening to his show that trusted who he was as an individual, but it didn't matter where he went. They were gonna follow him to watch his content. When you think of people outside of Joe Rogan, like celebrities that sing, they also have branding deals when it comes to makeup, when it comes to liquor, when it comes to all different things outside of what they actually do for a living. How are they able to do that? The power of a personal brand. When you think of people who blow up on TikTok or Instagram and they get these $1 million brand deals, how do they do that? Personal branding. And so for you and yourself, especially in today's day and age, it's so important to have a personal brand. You will have millions and millions of dollars of opportunities if you have a strong personal brand where people know you, they trust you, they like you. More and more opportunities will come to you individually. Branding deals, if you're a business owner and you're an entrepreneur, so many more opportunities come your way if you have a personal brand. Number 2, the market determines your value. Because Joe Rogan had the audience that he did, he had the attention that he did, Spotify was willing to pay him over $250 million to exclusively stream his content on their platform. That is the power of the market. When you have millions and millions of people viewing your podcast, when you're the number 1 viewed podcast, the market's going to pay you a premium to stream your podcast on their platform. Hence, Joe Rogan's deal. What does this mean for you? It means the market is going to pay you the value you bring to the marketplace. If you're an entrepreneur, your products, your services, whatever the market is willing to pay for them is the value that you bring in regards to those products and services. When it comes to if you're an employee and you're determining your salary of what you want to be paid, how well or how good are you at the skill sets that you're delivering to that job? Because the market is going to determine your value. When it comes to singers or when it comes to celebrities, you think about what people are willing to pay for Taylor Swift to go to her concert. Well, she sells out every single show, multiple nights in a row across the globe. The market is determining her value, which has increased exponentially. She sells out shows repeatedly, and she's on her way to become a billionaire if she isn't already one. That's because the market is willing to pay a premium to go watch her sing. The market determines her value. And number 3 is betting on yourself. Why do I say betting on yourself? Because it was risky for Joe Rogan to go to Spotify. Everyone was telling him, why would you do that? Why would you limit yourself and exclusively stream it on one platform? That was a risk that has paid off, not only financially, people that are still watching Joe Rogan's podcast more than anyone else's. So betting on himself, knowing the loyalty of those who followed him and the value that he brings, the entertainment that he brings, he took that risk, was very fruitful for him. Another example of this reminds me of Michael Jordan while watching the movie Air. His mother bet on the future of who Michael Jordan was going to be in the game of basketball and negotiated with Nike to own equity within what we know as the Air Jordan. Now, if she wouldn't have done that, Michael Jordan wouldn't have made millions, billions of dollars by them using his name on a shoe that promoted his personal brand, where he determined the marketplace of what that shoe was valued based off of his skill sets and what he did to the game of basketball. Betting on himself and his mother negotiating that deal created generational wealth for Michael Jordan that he passively has made millions and millions and millions of dollars and getting equity within Air Jordans, within Nike, one of the most successful shoe lines and branding from an athlete or a person in history, where they've sold billions of dollars from that shoe, and it's made him a lot of money because he bet on himself and negotiated a deal based off what his value was, and the market approved that and has continued to deliver on that. So when it comes to Joe Rogan's Spotify deal, I can't help but emphasize the importance of personal branding, especially now in today's day and age. There's so many lucrative opportunities that can follow a personal brand. Number two, the market determines your value. The more value you bring to others, the higher the skills that you have, the more people are willing to pay. And number three, always bet on yourself, because who else are you gonna bet on than bet on yourself? Only you know what you're capable of. And so if you found value from this video, check out my review of Choose Your Enemies Wisely. Why? Because Patrick has totally mastered the art of building a personal brand, and I think you'll find value from that review and that description of that. So thank you for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.